Buckingham Palace is said to not know the contents of the highly anticipated book. Image, Getty. GB News royal reporter Cameron Walker has delved into the potential content of Prince Harry's upcoming book, titled Spare. Publisher Penguin Random House said the book will be full of raw, unflichting honesty and that for the first time the Duke of Sussex will detail the moment he and his brother William, young princes still, walked behind their mother's coffin as the world watched on. Mr. Walker said, "This sounds like a big revelation. It's actually not, as he's spoken about it before in 2017. Prince Harry had previously spoken to Newsweek, saying, "I don't think any child should be asked to do that, under any circumstances." Mr. Walker continued, "In that scenario, Prince Philip was very comforting and said to Prince William, 'If you walk, he'll walk with you,' so clearly quite a comforting grandfather for Prince William." Follow below for live updates. Trending key events. Palace lawyers on standby as firm braces for Harry's nuclear memoir. 12:17 11 minutes ago. 12:55 Alice Higham. Prince Harry could burn rickety bridges with book. Royal commentator Daniela Elser has said the upcoming memoir from Prince Harry could burn the rickety bridges left between the Sussexes and the royal family. Writing for news.co.au, she said, "If he is going to tell all in the most literal sense, it could very likely represent the final torching of whatever rickety bridges remain between himself and his family." Read more. 36 minutes ago. 12:30 Alice Higham. Charles becomes Captain General of Royal Marines. King Charles has become the Captain General of the Royal Marines on their 358th birthday, the royal family has announced on Instagram. In a personal message to the Royal Marines, the King said, "It is the greatest possible pleasure to assume the role of your Captain General. I am exceptionally proud to follow in the footsteps of so many members of my family over the last 3.5 centuries, all of whom held the role with a deep sense of admiration. The Royal Marines have a distinguished and unparalleled history, both on land and at sea. I draw immense inspiration from your courage, determination, self-discipline and a remarkable capacity to endure in the most extreme environments." 49 minutes ago. 12:17 Alice Higham. Palace lawyers on standby as firm braces for Harry's nuclear memoir. The upcoming book, titled Spare, has been billed by the publisher Penguin Random House as being full of raw, unflinching honesty and is now due to be on shelves from January 10. Buckingham Palace lawyers are allegedly on standby following the announcement of a title and release date for Prince Harry's memoir. One royal source told The Mirror, "The very title demonstrates yet another confrontational attack on the family after claiming a desire for privacy." Palace lawyers will undoubtedly be on standby in the new year waiting to see what is in it. If Harry's previous allegations across numerous TV interviews are anything to go by, this will be nuclear. Regardless of the content, which will no doubt be explosive, there will be little chance of this acting as a vehicle to reconciliation for Harry and Meghan. Buckingham Palace has so far declined to comment on the contents of the book. 1 hour ago. 11:58 Alice Higham. Memoir likely to be nasty toward royal family. Royal biographer Angela Levin has claimed the title of Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, betrays a deep shame, and predicted the account is likely to be nasty towards the royal family. She told The Sun, "It tells you what he thinks about himself with some great deep shame that somehow he didn't feel he was better than that. Diana did her absolute best so that he wouldn't feel like that. She tried to tell him there were more options, more things would be open to him. He's got freedom, but obviously that hasn't worked." Read more. 1 hour ago. 11:42 Alice Higham. Charles may need to rein in former sister-in-law. King Charles may have to rein in his former sister-in-law Sarah Ferguson after she posted images of the late Queen's corgis on Instagram. Hosts of the Royally Obsessed podcast, Christina Garibaldi and Christine Ross, this week discussed Fergie's latest social media posts, saying the Sarah has been all over social media with the late Queen's corgis, Sandy and Muick. Ms. Garibaldi said, "We saw these pictures with the Queen's corgis and Fergie for her birthday over the weekend," with Ms. Ross adding, "She's kind of going rogue with social media. I do think it's like Fergie has kind of been let off a leash a little bit with the Queen not there anymore. And I think Charles is going to have to rein her in at some point because it feels like she is just like everywhere right now." Read more. 2 hours ago 11:25 Alice Higham poll, who do you think should become Counselor of State? Councillors of State are called upon to carry out the duties of the sovereign due to ill health or absence abroad. Councillors have the power to attend Privy Council meetings, sign routine documents and make appearances. Prince Harry and Prince Andrew are currently both in the role on behalf of King Charles III, but who do you think should replace them? Vote now. Who should be promoted to deputize for King Charles? 2 hours ago 11:09 Alice Higham Bond hits out at Harry, William and Charles get on with it. Former BBC royal correspondent Jenny Bond compared the three royal figures in light of the news that Prince Harry's upcoming memoir has a release date. She said, "Once it's there, it will be all over social media as well as the 16 countries it is being published in. In some countries, the title is even more damning. I think the Spanish title is not spare, but in the shadows. All through it, it seems to be saying I have been marginalized, I have not been allowed to live the life I wanted because of the way I was born." Well, William probably doesn't want to be king either. Charles probably didn't want to be king. But you know what, they get on with it. Read more. 2 hours ago 10:52 Alice Higham total exclusion could be coming for Harry. Kinsey Schofield told Express. Co.uk that the memoir, which is likely to include revelations about his take on royal life, obviously jeopardizes Prince Harry's relationship with his family. She added, "If he is heavily critical of King Charles III, there is a chance that he will be completely excluded from here on out." Read more. 3 hours ago 10:35 Alice Higham line of succession to the throne. Now that Charles is king, Prince William is first in line to the throne. He is followed by his three children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. Despite no longer being a working member of the royal family, Prince Harry is fifth in line to the throne. 3 hours ago 10:10 Alice Higham Prince Harry clearly does not want to turn his back on UK royal commentator Daniela Elser has said there is more at stake than his reputation within his family with the upcoming publication of his memoir. She said, "The Duke clearly does not want to turn his back on his homeland." Earlier this year it was confirmed that the Sussexes had extended the lease on their Windsor estate property, Frogmore Cottage. Ms. Elser also quoted the Duke's barrister Shahid Fatima KC, who in February said that Britain is and always will be his home. Read more. Image, Getty. 3 hours ago 9:50 Alice Higham Harry accused of stealing limelight from Kate. Prince Harry has been accused of stealing the limelight from his sister-in-law after it was announced his memoir will be published the day after Kate's birthday. The book will be released on January 10, with the Princess of Wales celebrating her 41st birthday just a day before. Royal expert Daniela Elser, writing for Australian outlet news.com.au, described the new date as an odd choice. Read more. 4 hours ago 9:31 Alice Higham When did Meghan and Harry quit the royal family? The Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepped down as senior royals in March 2020, a move dubbed Megxit. Following the move, they were stripped of their royal patronages and honorary military titles. The couple relocated across the pond to Montecito in Santa Barbara, where they now live with their two children Archie, 3 and Lilibet, who turns 1 next month. Since leaving the UK, the couple has not stepped away from the spotlight, most famously taking part in a controversial interview with Oprah Winfrey in March 2021. Image, Getty. 4 hours ago 9:10 Alice Higham. Prince Harry to keep some proceeds from book. Royal reporter Cameron Walker has revealed to GB News that Harry will be keeping some of the proceeds, adding that the Duke needs to have an income from somewhere due to no longer being a working royal. After being asked about the figure that Harry will be paid for it, the royal expert said, "We know it's certainly millions of pounds due to the breakdown on the latest information." He added that we don't have an exact figure of how much the 38-year-old has been paid, but we do know it is millions. Read more. 4 hours ago 8:55 Alice Higham. Prince Louis gets cheeky demeanor from William. Prince Louis has become known for his mischievous behavior, and this was first spotted by royal fans during the Queen's Jubilee. Louis was seen making faces, putting his arm over Kate Middleton's mouth, and appearing to sulk during the summer celebrations. But despite his uncle Prince Harry being perceived as the cheeky, rebellious prince, an unearthed video suggests Prince William is likely to have had more influence. Read more. 5 hours ago 8:35 Alice Higham. Harry book like throwing grenade into Buckingham Palace. Royal commentator Niall Gardiner has said fears the memoir from the Duke of Sussex could cause a great deal of damage to the royal family. He told Express.co.uk, "There has rightfully been a lot of reaction to the release, and I anticipate this is going to be an angry and bitter book. It is one that could cause a great deal of damage to the royal family." The tone of book, based on the title Spare and the front cover, looks to be very dark. It may well be the publishing equivalent of a grenade being thrown into Buckingham Palace. 5 hours ago 8:18 Alice Higham. Meghans tribute to Queen branded as baffling. Royal experts have been mulling over Meghan Markle's personal tribute to the Queen in her most recent interview with Variety magazine. Neil Sean said, "This was a little bit baffling to many people because as we now know Meghan and Harry didn't really seem fit, or have time, to visit our late monarch, when they were coming over to London, to pop up to Balmoral at her own personal request, with or without said children. Even though, allegedly, Queen Elizabeth had met them all before, very confusing." Read more. Image, Getty. 5 hours ago 8:03 Alice Higham. King Charles coins struck for first time. Coins bearing the likeness of King Charles III are now being manufactured. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, new 50p coins are being created after being designed by sculptor Martin Jennings. Coins will go into general use in December this year. 5 hours ago 7:45 Alice Higham. Book title shows Harry is full of resentment. Royal biographer Angela Levin has said the Duke of Sussex now has the freedom he craved, but that he is still full of resentment for the royal family. She wrote on Twitter, "Spare, the title of Harry's book is desperately sad. Is that what he still thinks of himself? After all the therapy, a wife he worships and freedom he longed for, he is still full of resentment and out to get his own back. You can see it in his eyes on the cover." Read more. 6 hours ago 7:32 Alice Higham. Good morning. Good morning. I am Alice Higham, and I will be bringing you all of latest updates on the royal family today. Please feel free to get in touch if you have any tips or thoughts. Alice.Higham at